Can you see a balanced life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Good. And if you think about your balanced life, what are the top things in it?
I feel free.
Mm-hmm.
Happy. I can see happiness.
Yeah.
And carefree is different. So it's free, but it's also carefree.
Yeah.
I used to be carefree. I miss those days.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah. Was that when that soul shift happened in 2017? Was that the one? Or that was more about your mum?
Yeah, I feel like when the last time I remember being carefree was, I think, when I was in uni.
Yeah, okay.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am free, carefree, and happy.
Ever since little feet came forever.
Yeah. And hold. Hold. And that just ends up creating exhaustion, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Take care of myself.
Yeah. So it's like that's, yeah. Okay. That's overloading your immune and lymphatic systems, so they just don't know what to do with that. And sometimes they will deliberately, rather than allowing you to feel happy, carefree, free, they will deliberately stop you from feeling that because it's a trap. They go, no, crap's happened to me in the past, don't do that. Okay. I am free, I am happy, I am carefree. And hold.
It feels wrong to be carefree. It feels. Yeah, just when you say that.
Yeah.
It's like
like you're not being something
like
responsible, or you're not.
Yeah, like I don't care about people or something just because I'm carefree.
Oh.
So I have to be burdened to show I care.
Yeah. Hold up. Yeah, so that, it's all compressing those muscles in there. That's going to be pushing on your heart and your heart space.
Oh, that's so painful. Yeah.
Okay, breathe in, breathe out and lift. And breathe in and relax, breathe out and lift. Breathe in and relax, breathe out and lift. Breathe in, breathe out and lift. Breathe in, breathe out and lift.
I don't know, is it lifting?
No, it's perfect. Okay. Breathe in, breathe out and lift. Yeah, so that's the pec minor in here. So it sort of is in that direction. So we're trying to stretch it like this. So it's a hypertonic. So we're stretching it and then lifting it to reset it. But that's this one. That's one all about, it's all about fight. It's trying to keep you safe.
And I think because it's all pinched up in there, because I have this hand twitches all the time.
Yes.
If I'm sleeping in bed, it'll just constantly twitch.
Yeah.
When it's really tight in there. Yeah.
Okay, so let's check your shoulder girdles as well. Hold, I'm pushing towards your toes. Yeah, no. Hold, I'm pushing towards your toes. No. Okay. So we'll just sort of. Okay, hold. It's better. And hold. Good. And then we'll check your little bicipital tendon. Hold in, don't let me lift up. No. Hold in, don't let me lift up. No. Okay. So they're both rolled in where they're not supposed to be. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out.
Oh.
Breathe in and out. Yeah, it does. It gets tighter towards the top. Yeah, it gets out of its little groove, the same way the fascia lata can get out of its groove. And again, hold. That's better. Now hold your thumb and pinky together. Hold. No. Thumb and ring. No. So the energy's not getting down through here. So this has been jammed for so long, and no doubt this in here as well. It's just not getting down through here. So then your brachioradialis compresses. Yeah, and then all of your little bones in your wrist get compressed. Yeah, okay. Whoa. Okay. And again, thumb to pinky, hold. And you know, energetically, the hands are about holding on too tight. They're about all of that sort of stuff. And hold. And hold, yeah. And again, try this way, just your pinky and thumb. That's it. And hold. And hold. No, so actually moving the arm like that is also throwing it out. So it's like these two muscles in here are just jamming the hell out of your radius and ulna. Yeah. Okay. So what did you do for that 9 years?
When I had my business?
Yeah.
I worked very hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Was it sort of business, like I'm wondering if it was computer and that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on the computer all the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a computer, it was the phone.
Yeah. So, you know, because that sort of stuff with RSI, with computer work, really common. And then, of course, the emotional gear, exactly like you said, you know, sort of looking after other humans.
Yeah, and I've got one of those, I don't know what you call it. It's like a
Oh, ganglion?
Yeah,
right.
And it's I had acupuncture once a long time ago and it went, but it's been there for years and years and years. Yeah. Oh. And I'm not on the computer hardly at all now, but it's still there. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Yeah, Renergy, my little massage therapist who comes in here occasionally, she was, I was doing some of this on her at the end of a treatment she did on me, and she said, "Ow, I forgot how that felt." As prackies. Oh, hello. Okay, so there's a real lymph congestion in through here. So I'll just go give a little sips. Oh, really? So it's lymph and spirit. That's interesting. Okay, so emotional neurotransmitters go through the body in the lymph. So once again, you can imagine if you've got a physical thing and then it becomes long term and it becomes emotional, part of that can be, so these little spirit points up here at GV20. Yeah, right. Something. And I assume you just sucked it up, Princess, for that 9 years? Yeah. Because
I did love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked serving people, but it was definitely over energy. It wasn't balanced.
Yeah.
A lot of them are still my very good friends.
Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful.
And I just have this constant feeling that I've always let them down. I never did
Oh,
enough.
darling.
And I worked so hard and I feel like I never did enough.
Yeah.
Like, it was an impossible job. It was a job of 10 people and I was one person. Yeah. I did have help at times, but the burden felt like 10 people.
Yeah. And that caring part of ourselves always wants to put people first and make them happy, and And I'm sure they understood when you shut the business.
Yeah. Well, I sold it, and then there's an amazing, amazing person running it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got the strength of 10 people.
Got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
Blew the base chakra just talking about that.
Yeah, I feel like I still haven't let it go. Like I sold it.
No, you haven't.
Yeah. Almost 5 years ago I sold it, and I'm still feeling guilty about everything I could not do.
Hold on, pushing towards your head. Hold. I'm pushing towards your left. Hold. I'm pulling towards me. Hold. Okay, so that's your rib. Okay, so breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. Okay, and hold out. Okay, and hold, I'm going up, and hold, I'm going down. That's better. Okay. Once again, I'll recheck the pec minors while we're here. No, that's still okay. So let's do the other ones on this one. Hold in for me. Okay.
Oh, that's got nothing.
Nothing. Okay, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Wow. That's tight. Has that been put back in lately with any of your treatments?
Okay. That's been out probably for years, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm just gonna. And again, hold your thumb and pinky together. Hold, no. Ring finger, pinker, no. Middle, no. Pointer, no.
So, all my friends can self-muscle test and I can't, and everyone's shocked when I say I can't do it.
Yeah.
So every time I do, I can hold it, but only for a second.
Yes.
And so I always get false negatives.
Oh,
My name
okay.
is Jen, my name is not Jen, and you always just cave in, and I just,
Yes.
it's hard photonic,
Yeah.
And I've tried it with like, this finger's like, yeah.
Yes. No, because you're right. I sort of the only one I can do is this one, but it's really, I use a lot of energy in there. So when I do an hour etheric, like by the end, my fingers are just killing me.
Wow.
So I have to make sure I look at my day when I put those in there.
When you do that. This is my bucket list to be able to self-test. That's just my ultimate dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you thought about using a pendant, a crystal?
I have so many blocks.
Yeah,
When
okay.
I try it before, it's just like,
Yeah.
like this. Yeah, it's like, I feel like I would love to just self-muscle test. Yeah. Again, I've got friends who can use this. My father-in-law is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know if it's my thing.
Well, going back 18 months ago when Charles was in town, I think it was the end of 2019.
Yeah, I think I saw
Or
him
was
in
it the
March.
end of 2018?
I think I saw him in March 2019.
Oh, maybe it was.
I think.
Wow, has it been that long ago?
Yeah, I think.
And,
yeah, it was 2019 March, yeah.
wow. So at that one, someone at that course challenged me to be doing etheric balances. And my brain immediately was like, I can't. Actually, in August that year, I was part of a 6-person with Molly Brum and a few others. So there were 6 kinesiologists, and all of them did etheric balances except me. And I remembered feeling so frustrated and angry, thinking, I'm a freaking good kinesiologist. Why can't I do this? What are they talking about? So I got off so pissed off at the end of that because someone in March had been saying, oh, this is all you do. You just do this. You can do it. You know what you're doing. And then after the August one, I just went, right, I just have to start doing something and see what happens.
Yeah.
And yes.
And now it works.
Now it works.
You must have seen him in Brisbane.
Yes.
So, yeah, I saw Craig's in Melbourne.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why it's March and yours is like little.
Oh, I can't remember when it was, but it feels like a few years ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So lucky that we could do it at that time.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, he's so amazing. I do love him. Oh, okay. That arm, throat chakra. Sorry, I need some water. Excuse me. Do you need some water?
I'm good, thank you.
So, thinking about that heart and the tingling and the palpitations and the stuff that sets it off.
Yeah. Just lots of emotional stuff.
Yeah. And there's your little throat chakra dying to be heard,
Ah.
dying to be understood.
Yeah. I've always said that. I'm like, I just want to be heard and understood. I just bang on about that all the time.
Yeah. And sometimes even when people hear, they're not comprehending. So yes, hearing is the first step, and then comprehending, understanding, and making changes from it as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
But because that's been so long, and because that's linked in with the heart, let's have a look at the throat. So it's throat, parietals, hyoid. Okay, so old pain punishment circuits. So patterns that just keep on revisiting. Next layer. Do you feel compressed in here sometimes?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And when I get headaches, it's crushing.
Okay.
And I feel like I can't do anything about it.
And how often does that happen?
Probably say once a month I have a really good
Okay.
cracking headache. And it's usually, I don't know, sometimes I wonder if it's psychic attack. But it starts in my neck.
Okay.
And then it's like that whole thing where you feel like you're the Terminator with the red eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it gets so bad I have nausea, like I just want to vomit,
So it would be classed a migraine? With the eyes and the nausea?
Yeah. So that's all, the double whiplash kind of.
Yeah. Did we work on your whiplash last time?
I can't remember. We did 3 different survival stresses last time. Which was probably, probably hidden in there.
Yeah, we'll just stack in those neck muscles. Good. And give your neck a little stretch. Beautiful. So now okay. These two are jammed. they're pretty much the heart, neurolymphatic points. Gallbladder energy as well. Okay, heart energy. Did you say it's in about here?
Yeah.
Okay, so with the trigger points, that's actually a trigger point for the pec minor as well. So, where do you feel it?
Right.
Yeah, so where do you feel, if you push in, do you feel it extending out, the pain somewhere else?
No, but it's really, that's the button right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not feeling it go down your arm or up into the pecs or?
When I'm really stressed out,
Yes.
and it feels like I'm about to have a heart attack.
Yes.
So it feels like it's my whole heart is
Okay.
tight like a vice, and then it comes down here and radiates down there.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay,
that
so
is a special, like,
it's a special button for you.
even,
Okay.
even if there's nothing, like that's always hurts.
Okay.
But
So let's stack that one in.
but when there is something going on, I just feel like, I wonder if it's like the valve or something closing, but you're thinking it's a
Well,
neurolymphatic
I'll
point.
get you to take a photo of the trigger point because it's
Oh.
like exactly where it is.
Oh,
Now, that doesn't mean it's not heart related,
yeah.
but because all nerves are connected everywhere and even the vagus nerve is in there connected to everything.
So it feels like my heart, but it's my pec minor.
It looks like the pec minor has 2 trigger points, that's one of them, and the second one's about here.
Oh, okay.
But this one,
That's like a bullet hole, right?
yeah, because the where it goes to is this whole area and down that arm.
Wow. Okay.
So let's check pec minor. Hold. Hold. Not optimal either side. Hold, I'm going back to external. And hold. So pec minor. Stomach energy. Which of course has all that fun. And you know, thinking about you picking on yourself since you gave up your business.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we're our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
We criticise ourselves and we feel unreliable and disappointed because we let people down.
Yeah. Like, just even you just saying it then, I just feel sick inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't matter that you know it's not real, that
I
you sold
know.
it to an amazing
I
person,
know.
because it's how it impacts you that's the
I know.
important
I
thing.
know, I'm always beating myself up.
And hold. Do you have gut issues?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you know, then there's the whole EMF and histamine thing that can be affecting your heart as well.
Okay.
So histamines build up in the gut, the brain, the uterus and the spine.
Yeah.
So that can add to anxiety and depression, it can add to trauma in your dura, it can add to all sorts of things. So let's check histamines.
Yeah, I've definitely got anxiety and depression, so I'm trying to do gaps at the moment to try and help my neurotransmitters.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm cheating like every Saturday we go out, but other than that I'm trying to eat really well. And the other thing you said, EMF, I'm generally extremely sensitive to radiation. Yeah.
So that unlock was histamines. So then I'll check what organs histamines are affecting. Okay, so histamines. Your body knew what they were. There was no energy mismatch, but the immune system wasn't keeping up with them. Oh, let me go back to pec minor again. So just check in relation to DAO. And hold nice and strong. No. It's DAO, hold. So diamine oxidase. So diamine oxidase is the hormone we need, or the enzyme we need, sorry, to release histamine once we've used it. So histamine is a healing amino acid, enzyme, histamine,
Hormone?
amine, so it's an amino acid. Yeah, possibly. It's probably fits several. Like I think it might even be in the neurotransmitter combo because it does get into the brain. And but histamines and EMFs attract each other.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So that's why MCAS is such a big burgeoning field, I think, because kids are being born with these phase 2 or T helper 2 excess dominant bodies because of, you know, so much stuff. And so in relation to DAO, hold. And let's ask specifically in relation to histamines. And hold, so this is more just stomach in relation to histamines, yeah.
Wow, I always feel so calm right now that I could fall asleep. It's just, my stress is just coming right down.
Nice. Beautiful.
I feel relaxing, definitely.
Yay. Well, histamine's excitatory. You know, it's not a calming hormone. And I was chatting to, what's her name, Donna. She's written about 5 books on EMFs.
Okay.
And she, so I was on radio with her about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I interviewed, and she said all sorts of things you shouldn't say on radio. Like she was talking about the upcoming 5G at the time and saying how we were going to have like an everyone on the planet would be infertile within 10 years. And I thought, no, you can't say that on the radio. Anyway, but she was saying that histamines and EMFs actually attract each other. So where you've got histamine, that actually attracts EMFs because EMFs build up in the gut, the brain, the testicles and the spine. So it's another reason why boys should not have their phones anywhere in their bottom half of their bodies. And neither should we actually, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, EMFs.
Yeah, people can never understand when I go, my brain is literally on fire, like I need to get off the phone right now, like I cannot talk to you. It is definitely improving. I've had lots of balances lately, and I've been on the phone and I haven't had this big, like I used to have a hangover, like I've eaten a bag of sugar. If I accidentally leave the mobile phone on at night while I'm sleeping, like, or sometimes I wouldn't be able to sleep. My brain would just be like on fire like this. And now we've gone to sleep and I know it's on, but I can still fall asleep because when I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I have this very specific thing and I'm like, oh, the mobile phone's on. I don't have the time, space, and energy to go off and turn it off. I try to find it, but then I can fall asleep again. Whereas before, I used to be up all night long, and it was just like, and I couldn't move to go and get the thing and turn it off. Just like chronically fatigued and not having energy.
You're the canary in the coal mine with EMFs.
Yeah, but I am improving, so maybe histamines are slowly things better. I don't know.
Well, it's still about cellular detox. So the more omega-3s we've got in our cell walls, the more of those, because fat-soluble vitamins help to sop up histamines, and so, you know, that's why the GAPS diet will be so good for you.
Right, yeah, I've been eating...
Because isn't it like 70% fat?
Yeah, I've been eating all the bone things, bone broth, and boiling bones, and roasting bones, and marrow,
beautiful,
slow-cooked meats,
avocados. Nice.
Spending, what is it? Supporting the avocado industry at the moment. Having an avocado at breakfast and an avocado at dinner.
Beautiful.
But I'm like, this is cheaper than buying supplements. And,
exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Getting it straight from nature.
Yeah, and I'm eating a lot of oils, so olive oil, so coconut oil, and just trying to get different things in there that I would really avoid before.
Yeah, macadamia oil is another good one. Hemp oil.
Yeah, I'm getting more adventurous. I'm slowly branching out to these things because I was just like, I'm buying this thing every week and not changing, and now I'm starting to mix it up.
Oh no, all those good fats are so great for the gut and the brain. Okay, so EMFs. I'll let you check MCAS as well, mast cell activation syndrome. And hold. Oh, okay, bugger. Hold. Okay, so the mast cells release over 200 chemicals. Histamine is one of them.
Mm.
And so it's just a bit of a sign that many symptoms can be part of MCAS.
Mm.
So another one, for example, is heparin. So it makes its own heparin, the little mast cells. So a lot of women's excess bleeding disorders.
Mm.
Oh, I wonder if the spike proteins are actually messing with heparin. Because anyway, just port.
So what is MCAS? Is it a blowout when your system blows out something, or what is it?
So, well, it's a syndrome where the mast cells are out of control all the time. So, and it's really hard to diagnose, especially here in Australia, because a lot of the tests that they do in the States we simply don't have here. And of course, because our doctors don't believe in it, we're not interested in doing the tests. So it's only about 9, 10, 11 years that they've been researching it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's only researched in places where people believe that other things can be going on in the body. So yeah, so mast cells are white blood cells, and it's when they're getting out of, it's triggering you into all sorts of allergies and stuff, and lots of histamines. And so it can be everything from lots of mental health disorders, from anxiety to depression to chronic fatigue to pain and inflammation and itchiness and chronic sinus problems, and then lots of things like ADHD and stuff like that as well.
That's really funny. 'Cause the day after the car accident, I woke up in the morning and all my sinuses were just running, and they ran every day for years, like a bucket.
Wow.
And then I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I'm just like, maybe the car accident triggered
something.
It was just, I think, just broke me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, so, and when was that?
2017,
Yeah.
but I had another one in 2011.
Oh,
so,
yay.
Yeah.
My old daughter-in-law, who's not my daughter-in-law anymore, but my old daughter-in-law, she was in a car accident one day, and I said, how do you feel? And she said, I feel like I've been chucked into a blender and spat out again.
Yeah.
And I thought, I think a lot of people know what you mean.
Yeah, I use the washing machine. I feel like I'm in a washing machine and just being put on spin.
But two of the cheapest things to help to pull out excess histamine out of your body are vitamin C up to bowel tolerance and N-acetylcysteine. They're like two of my favourite little ones. So an NAC, because there's N-acetylcarnitine and N-acetylcysteine, so it's specifically N-acetylcysteine, but it is to do, well, it also helps to dry mucus. So if people had things like lots of sinus problems, then I would go that. If people have allergic reactions to things like medications and vaccines and stuff, I'd probably do a combination because vitamin C, of course, is both fat and water soluble, so it helps to pull toxins both out of your blood and your lymph as well as your fat tissue, which is why the bowel tolerance, and that's different for everyone.
Yeah.
So, but of course, as humans, we don't make vitamin C, but our adrenals use most of the vitamin C in our body. So when we are stressed, there's no way we're not chronically vitamin C deficient.
Wow. When you were talking about it, I was like, oh my God, I forgot. Ever since I saw you a couple of weeks ago, I still haven't taken it.
Yeah, right.
Got to. And yeah.
But you've got some at home.
I've got it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, the green one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how do I get NAC in my system? Can I get that from food?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
is that
No,
supplement?
not really.
Just supplement.
Yeah.
Okay, I would love some of that.
Yeah, cool. Got 3 flavours.
Because even now, I'm finding I'm waking up and I'll just have I don't know how to. It's like a dribble. It's like like my nose is running like a tap. It's clockwork. I wake up in the morning, and I know I'm conscious and all that stuff. It, when you're sort of in that half dozy state.
Yep.
Everything's fine. As soon as my conscious mind kicks in, the nose starts running.
Oh, wow.
It's just like a trigger. And I was wondering if like mold is triggering as well and other things.
I will ask that. Yeah.
But if there's
Is there oh, that's right, because there is molds in the house,
in
isn't
the
there?
house, yeah, there is. But see, I think I wasn't sensitive to it before the car accident. Like it didn't bother. Like
Right.
my immune system was like, oh, we'll deal with that. But then it was just too much.
Well, a car accident will trigger so much survival stuff. That'll shut down whatever isn't necessary in the body. Goes, our immune system, we don't need that. Okay. Mold and mold spores. And hold. Yeah. Hold. 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 Ah, your body doesn't, this is, oh no, it's not the first time, but energy mismatch hasn't shown it. Your body doesn't know what to do with the mold.
Oh.
So, often dust has about 50% mold in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously mold isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the black mold?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it wet and current or is it old?
It just keeps growing.
Yeah, okay, so it's current.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we didn't ever pay attention. We've got blinds all upstairs, and outside the house there were these old, the external blinds that go down,
Yes.
and on the outside of them was all this black mold, and because we've got blinds, we've got this, we never paid attention to it, and then when we were renovating and we put in a pool out the backyard, and all of a sudden we're down to the pool, you could see all this black mold. We went, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
It was like an amazing,
Revelation.
oh yeah, and plus you couldn't have people come to your house with all that black mold on your house because it looked dreadful.
Wow.
And it was funny because Jay had this little rash for like a couple of years before that, and the things that kept muscle testing up were Bactrex and Parex and the SB Flora, and it was just, we must have gone through 20 jars of them. It would disappear, we'd stop it for a while, it would come back. Got rid of those damn things upstairs. So whenever our windows were open, we must have been breathing in the mold spores because they were about a metre from the back windows. And never got it again. Cleaned it up, it disappeared. And I've heard that old, a lot of the bathrooms, a lot of bathrooms aren't lined properly. And so therefore the best way to tell if, the rooms are leaking is smell. So if it ever feels like it's damp, that dampness can hold mold as well. Yeah, there was a really good speaker at Congress a couple of years ago with metagenics. Around the time we were renovating, so it must be 5 years ago.
Good time.
Yeah. Terrifying information sometimes though.
Aren't you glad you know it though?
Yeah. Yeah. And what was the car accident like in 2011?
They were both exactly the same.
Oh,
I was
wow.
stopped at a red light at both of them and crashed into behind from both of them. I was completely stationary, so my body took the complete impact of all the force of the movement and the kinetics of the car.
Wow. Yeah. It's a lot of trauma. How'd the 2011 one go?
Do you know what? That lady took complete ownership of it. It was completely, and so I feel like my recovery is so much better because I didn't have the anger at her. It was, I don't know. I had anger about all other stuff, but I was grateful that she took ownership. And the one in 2017, the lady really didn't. Looked like she did on top, but was in denial. Like, why did you crash into me? She said, oh, I failed to brake. What does fail to brake mean? If you fail to brake, you press the brake again. And then when I went home, I said, how does someone fail to brake? And they go, oh, they were probably on their mobile phone.
Of
and
course.
and that's why I think, you know, that's not taking ownership. If someone says, I'm so sorry, I was on my mobile phone, I did the wrong thing, forgiveness. Do you know what I mean? But so I've had all this resentment about they're not taking ownership. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my traits.
Yeah. Well, it was throat chakra. Before, when we were chatting about the accident, throat chakra showed up. So I'm assuming you want to yell and scream and rant at her.
I did, and I did want to. And when the accident happened, she was on the, I'm so sorry, I've never heard anyone in my life, blah, 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 blah. And I was wanting to scream in my head, and all I was like, on the outside, I was like, it's okay, everyone has character, and I was just trying not to have a panic attack at the time. And I was making her feel better, and then I'm like, why am I trying to make her feel better? She's the one that did the wrong thing. I'm still angry now, to be honest. Yeah. I wish I could scream at her, but it's not socially acceptable.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's lots of anger there.
It is amazing, isn't it, when someone takes responsibility?
Yeah.
There was a study done with derby car drivers,
Uh-huh.
and who have on average, I can't remember, but it's 15 to 20 whiplashes a year, and but they don't get neck problems. You know, crash car driving, you know, but they just don't have neck issues.
Wow.
Whereas the average person who has a whiplash in a normal car has neck problems for 2 years. So they were sort of wondering what it was in this study, because, you know, why does one group of people have no side effects? And part of it is they're going in there to do that. They're going in there to have fun. They want to crash. They want to do all that fun stuff. And they're choosing it. They're choosing responsibility for that, whereas we don't choose it when we have an accident. And in that instant, it's the car, it's the insurance, it's the responsibility, it's the money, it's, you know, it's everything in a heartbeat that is then traveling around your body. Going, why didn't I go through that red light?
I've had thoughts like, you know, when you play it back in your mind. I could have opened in the first accident, because I saw it coming in the rearview mirror. I was like, that car's going so fast, it's going to hit us, because I was completely stopped.
Yes.
And I'm like, I didn't have time to tell the passenger. I should have, you know, played in my mind. I should have opened my door and jumped out. Like they could have hit the car and we would have been fine. I just like, it happened like that. Like,
yeah. Well, now we've been riding motorbikes for 3.5 years. We keep sort of, because we've heard so many stories about that with motorbikes as well. So far, so good. Okay. I'll just check your femurs as well because of that. Let's have a look. And hold. Okay. Hold. Okay. Do them both. Okay. Yeah, because the NOC and the histamine, like even pulling the histamines out of your brain, it takes a bit of time, but it gets there. So when histamine's built up in your brain, you can imagine it's an amino acid, so it's creating a pro-acid environment when it builds up. So that can be eating away at the essential fatty acids. So once again, it's why the GAPS diet is so fantastic for you, because the good fats helps to neutralize the acidity around the body.
Gosh, Madonna, that's amazing. I feel so happy when you said that.
Yeah, so it's sort of like it's just, no, it's great. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
The thing about these avocados is like literally we're like, 12 avocados and none of them were right. We're like, come on, I just need one for dinner, I need one for breakfast, come on. And I was sort of expecting them, and I put them with bananas in a space where all, the bananas, gas would do it, nothing. And then all of a sudden, like 3 went right at the same time.
Yeah, well, there's my daily feel goods.
Yeah, and then the rest of them, hard as a rock. I'm like, how? It's been like a week. These guys Should I put them in the sun? I don't know what to do. I don't know how you ripen avocados.
Is it putting them in a brown paper bag speeds it up or something?
Should I do that? That's maybe I'll do that.
Well, that can't hurt them at least,
Yeah,
brown paper bags.
I ended up putting them in a drawer with 12 bananas just to try and get that fume thing happening, but yeah, I'll try the paper bag.
There you go, my darling.
Thank you so much.
How does that feel? Does it feel a bit looser?
It does feel looser. Yeah, this thing has something here that it's been there for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing that tightens everything, but overall,
Yeah.
really loose. And this
Well, we'll just stack that up and we'll stack that in and do like just a little circuit in there. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's that.
Oh yeah, that little guy.
Yeah. That's,
Sorry.
That's right.
Stack it in. Huh. Guess.
Emotional?
So throat chakra and base chakra. So once again, not speaking your truth or not being heard and not feeling safe and grounded when that's going on. Yeah, so something about being heard and safety are very much in the same pocket for you.
Because I always used to say, we need to call the police, and it was always denied.
Yeah.
And I went to get a restraining order with a lawyer, and the lawyer said, everyone fights. And I'm like, you don't understand what's happening. And I just closed my mouth because I'm like, this person is never going to understand. And I'm like, just walk away.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so because he didn't support me, I went through it for years and years and years, more than I had to.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's crazy.
I don't think that would ever happen now. That was a long time ago.
You feel like the police are more switched on these days?
It was the lawyer. I don't think a lawyer would ever say that nowadays. They would take you seriously. I think. Just the world has changed.
Yeah. One of my sons put a post on Facebook about some abuse he suffered when he was 17, and the person sent lawyer and lawsuit and
found out only recently that my dad had written very detailed letters to that lawyer, and he knew exactly what was going on, that he told me that it was nothing.
yeah, right.
Yeah, so I just let the universe handle that.
Yeah. So your dad did stick up for you, in other words?
Yes, but he was overseas, and that was the extent of his power.
Yeah. So he tried.
He really tried.
Yeah.
He really tried. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Dads, they sometimes don't tell you what they're getting up to in the background. Yeah. He was trying, did his best.
Yeah. He tried everything he could to get me out of that situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whiplashes were just a physical manifestation of how you'd felt in your brain for a long time anyway. You know, between a rock and a hard place.
Well, when the violence happened to me, I had my shoulder, my head slammed against a concrete wall, like my shoulders were grabbed and my head was, so that's whiplash. And then it's sort of,
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this one's pain and punishment. I'll just get you to hold those because then it's both chakras, the 8th as well as the base. So very much around grounding, very much around feeling safe, secure and grounded. And it's okay. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to feel it. I remember seeing a documentary and it was about in the States and it was rape stuff that they were talking about, unresolved rape crimes, and there were huge warehouses all over the US where rape kits had never been looked at, and police and DAs were taught which ones to bother putting any energy and effort into.
Yeah.
So you pretty much had to be at a certain level in society with someone who knew someone in order to get the kits looked at.
Yeah.
And then when they finally, and it was because of SVU actually, Law and Order SVU, because she was a bit of a celebrity. So she actually got involved. And of course she's not a lawyer, she's not a cop, but nonetheless she was the one who sort of got things going. And they started opening up old things, and then they found that on average, these guys doing the rapes had done it in 2.6 states.
Wow.
On average.
Wow.
So they'd never been found out to be more than one person because they weren't checking them across. So now they've got a database. They matched up all these humans. Women started getting... Yeah, but it was interesting hearing the lawyers and the police talk and sort of say, we were taught, this is how we were taught, and they showed the documentation that they had to stick to.
Yeah, it was probably a lack of resources.
Oh,
maybe.
absolutely, and prioritising.
Yeah.
Who pays the money? Who pays into the mayor's campaign? Who pays into the, it's just politics. Politics and money. So I think you're right. I think a lot more money is being put into stuff these days. So women are getting looked after better. Well done.
I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Do you have magnesium oil? Like, do you ever use that externally?
I just bought magnesium from my chiropractor.
Cool.
Like 3 days ago.
Perfect.
And it's that thing about remembering.
Yeah,
I
right.
take every second day. I think I've had it for about 5 days, and every second day I forget to take it. I'm like, I've got to. When I get the pain, I'm like, oh, magnesium, but it's combined with B6, so I can only take it in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And I usually remember it about night time when I've got the back pain happening.
Yeah.
So yes, I need to put a sign on my fridge or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had magnesium oil,
Yeah.
and it was really, I think, good quality. But I think maybe I put too much on it. My skin was really itchy when.
Oh, okay.
Is that?
Well, it might have been in the base. Maybe the base was something.
Because I would want to scratch my skin apart when I put it on my.
Yeah, right.
It was like, I bought it at the market.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably depends what the base was, because they can be in all sorts of bases. But, magnesium, I can't, unless it's just increasing blood supply to the area which might be attracting histamines, because itching's nearly always about histamine. So, interesting. There you go, my sweet. How does that feel? Does that feel a bit looser in there?
It does feel a bit looser, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's been tight for
a
long time.
Yeah,
but it does feel better. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.